Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to this Tricks of the Month profile video with Kenny Cheung. Kenny, thanks for being with us. Excited to have you on. Wonder if you could tell us a little bit more about yourself, where you're from, how long you've been juggling, and what you're most excited about when it comes to juggling right now.
My pleasure, Shawn. Yeah, thanks for having me here. So I've started juggling since 2008. Taught myself through an animation on online, and just really taught myself through different videos and resources I found on online and YouTube. Most excited in juggling is just pushing the limits in technical juggling and seeing how far I can go. Yeah. Yeah.
And has that always been what you've been most excited about with juggling, is pushing it to see how far you can go?
It has influenced, yeah, from the very beginning. But also a lot on the juggling community. Just meeting jugglers is really exciting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because like sometimes conventions only happen like annually, so it's kind of like once a year. It's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really nice to meet. Yeah, just like hundreds of jugglers and just seeing what everybody else is working on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to share different tricks and stuff.
Have you ever been at a convention and gotten a trick that you hadn't gotten before at the convention?
Yes, I have. I have quite a few times actually. Sometimes when I'm like talking to some jugglers and they request certain tricks which I haven't thought about at all. And like I would try maybe sometimes just like 10 or 20 minutes, and surprisingly sometimes I get a trick, and that's really cool. And sometimes that can influence me to try like maybe a harder version or something later on in my own practice time after the convention. Yeah.
What's one trick you remember that you got, like you finally got, and you were like so excited about it, and it just kind of pushed you on to keep on going?
The first time I got a 5 up 720, it was a really nice feeling to, yeah, it felt like a really hard trick at the time, like a few years ago. Like the first ever time doing a 5 up 720 felt really good and really pushed me to try, yeah, like really high tricks. Yeah, like high spins and yeah. So that's one trick. Yeah.
Okay, kind of taking the conversation a little bit different direction. What's the juggling scene like in Australia?
So I go to a weekly juggling club here. There's like some other weekly meetups, like I think with flow arts and flow arts and juggling. It's comparing to Europe or America, Japan, and certain countries. It's not as big, I think. So the juggling scene here is the number of jugglers, I guess, in a convention wouldn't be as big as like a convention in Germany or America, where like, you know, it's typical you see like 500 or 1,000 jugglers sometimes in convention. Whereas here, I mean, yeah, the biggest I've seen would be maybe 300 or 400 jugglers.
Okay.
Yeah, so smaller, but still nice. Yeah.
We know that you love juggling clubs. What's your favorite brand of clubs to juggle?
Favorite brand would be Delphins.
Okay.
Delphins for the past few years. Yeah, I like the lightness of the club. It's quite light compared to most other clubs. Lighter than PX3. And I like the feeling of the handle of the club, the shorter handle and the larger body of the Delphin. And I think that's nice for slower spins or slower rotations of the clubs in the air. Yeah, and it's also nice for numbers too, because of how light it is. Yeah.
Sweet. In your Tricks of the Month video, what were you trying to communicate? What did you want people to walk away with after they watched the video?
I wanted people to see juggling as fun. I think that's what I try to communicate in my Tricks of the Month video. So I didn't just do a normal juggling video where I'll just pull difficult tricks one after the other just in a boring background in a basketball court. So I try to film some juggling in interesting backgrounds, just in some areas, some nice looking areas in Sydney. And yeah, I added some interesting stuff. So there was a hat kick shot, which was really fun, that I tried with Julius Purr in a local convention that happened last month, and yeah, just having the audience feel that juggling is fun, and having a sense of community as well. So I try to be a bit inclusive in the video, so it was like a nice bit of interaction, yeah, in the video. So I had an intro and yeah, a bit of talking. Yeah.
So there's a few different things that I think make jugglers want to keep juggling. One is the community. One is that they like achieving things, taking it to the next level. Another is because it's just fun. For you,
Yeah.
how do each of those kind of play into your juggling?
So the juggling itself, yeah, really fun. Just trying to try different tricks for the aesthetics, or whether it's something to push my endurance or having high numbers. The community has definitely played influence for my juggling. So just interacting with different jugglers in conventions and meetups, and just seeing what other people are working on, sharing different ideas and like different ways in approaching different tricks, or new ideas that we haven't thought about and might be cool to try. Yeah, and also nice to hear about other jugglers, the way they practice. So different ways each jugglers approach, yeah, their practice routines and stuff.
Yeah. So it sounds like the community plays a huge role for you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. And also it's a big motivation boost for me, and is it really a big reason why I keep juggling till today and in the future. Just yeah, it's nice to see a lot of other people like similar to me. Like they all work on stuff and try to yeah, work on new different tricks and discover new things, discover new tricks, and push limits and stuff.
Sweet. Well, it
Yeah.
does sound like a lot of fun. If people wanted to find your juggling stuff, where would they look?
So I'm on Instagram a lot. So I try to post weekly there. So you can follow me at Kenny Juggling on Instagram. Yep, just Kenny Juggling, normal spelling. And I'm also on YouTube by the same username, Kenny Juggling. Yeah.
All right, sweet. I was wondering if you could tell me the answer to a question that I forgot to ask during your Juggle Talk Live interview, which is, what are some words of inspiration for the juggling community at large?
Words of inspiration. Try to find the things that you like about juggling and work on that. So I see a lot of jugglers try to get frustrated a lot when things don't work out, and sometimes they work on things they don't necessarily like, but they compare themselves against other jugglers, and it's more like they force themselves to learn different tricks rather than doing tricks that they naturally like to do. So I think it's better and it's more fun when you try to just naturally see what tricks come to mind and what you see you enjoy, and it's nice to work on the tricks that you enjoy the most. Yeah, yeah.
So how do you experiment to find what you like?
Just seeing how it feels, really. Just trying. If you try overheads or back crosses or side swaps and see, yeah, and like if you're always motivated and you like it, and the progress that you make keeps pushing you, then that's usually a good sign. But if you juggle, if you're working on some tricks and you always get frustrated all the time, and sometimes if props injure you a lot, like so maybe like if rings injure you a lot, and if you don't fancy the tricks, if you find that pain isn't worth that much sometimes, then maybe you like the other props better. So like in my case, it would be my case.
Oh, okay. That's why you don't do
Yeah,
rings so
that's
much.
why I practice clubs much. Yeah, just because the way they cause blisters and stuff.
Yeah. Well, thanks for contributing to the Tricks of the Month in general, and then for doing this little interview so people can find out a little bit more about you. And everybody else, thanks for watching. Until next time, keep on juggling.
Awesome. Bye bye.